everyone, I'm Zhena, founder and tea blender at clubmagichour.com. Today we're going to be talking about caffeine, and we're also going to be talking about the different types of tea and the temperature that they need to be steeped at. Okay, you ready? One of the biggest questions I get all across every social media channel is how much caffeine is in tea, how many, and how much in comparison to coffee, what temperature do I steep it at, all that good stuff. So basically, I'm gonna go through the details of each so that you can refer to this video, and you can also, when you order, we have these caffeine cards now that come into your order. And this was because you asked for it. You are my muse, and we heard you loud and clear that you needed more information on caffeine, so we made you a cool little chart. Okay, so number one, tea caffeine is different than coffee caffeine. Tea caffeine it comes along with an amino acid called L-theanine. You might have heard me talk about it before. L-theanine is a happy amino acid that makes you feel giddy. It also helps your brain to function on both sides. So you can be logical and creative. You can be focused and you can be expansive. So L-theanine is attached to the caffeine in tea, and it is not in the caffeine in coffee. So coffee caffeine goes right into your central nervous system. It gives you a jolt. I always say coffee gives me courage, but tea sustains me. That's pretty much what it does. It pushes you through. I can't use it in any type of quantity because the acid messes up my stomach, and it doesn't make me feel good when the caffeine wears off. The caffeine in tea comes in slowly because of the L-theanine, and it goes out slowly. So it's much more of a long, clear, joyful high. Caffeine makes me a little high. Okay. All right. So first off, black tea. Black tea is about a third to a half the caffeine content of a cup of coffee. A lot of our black teas are blended with other things like flowers, fruit. I use a lot of roses, spices. So the caffeine content in the blended teas is even lower. It's around 30 milligrams. And in a one that isn't blended, straight black tea, you're gonna get about 40 to 50 milligrams of caffeine in that cup. Now, a cup of coffee is about 120 milligrams, so that just gives you the kind of an equivalency to look at. Now, black tea has the most caffeine of any teas, and then we go to oolong. Oolong is a green, kind of a hybrid between a green and black tea, and that has the second highest, and it's gonna come in around 30 milligrams as well if it's not blended. Then we go into green tea, and some of you have mentioned that the green tea makes you even more hyper, and green tea actually has lower caffeine than oolong or black tea as well. But green tea has a higher level of L-theanine. So, and it also has EGCG, which I'm not even gonna try to pronounce, but it's basically what gets the metabolism burning, and it moves it's green tea extract, it moves the liver into action. So sometimes when you feel a green tea high, you're feeling the L-theanine, and you're also feeling your body kick in and produce heat so that it can burn more fat. Pretty magical, right? Okay, now we go to white tea. And most of our white teas, we have Silver Moon, which is an unblended silver tip tea. And then we have, this one is part of our chakra collection, Lotus Mind, and it's blended with blue flowers. So when you look at a white tea, you're looking at very alkaline, cooling, yin, relaxing form of caffeine. It makes you feel very clear, a little blissful, and it's gonna come in around between 15 and 25 milligrams of caffeine. And remember, coffee at 120, okay? Then we go into herbals, and herbal teas are not decaffeinated tea leaves. They're actually made from herbs. And unless it's yerba mate or an herb that has caffeine, they are caffeine free. So this is my child's pose, and this is my sleep time tea. And it makes me sleep really well. We also have Lucid Dreams and Ruby Moon. We have a ton of herbal teas without caffeine. So that will answer your caffeine questions. Next, I wanted to talk about temperatures you steep your tea at. And we sell this really cool kettle, and I know a lot of you on social media have bought these, but we sell these, and it basically has a dial, and on the back of your jar you'll find a little chart that shows how long to steep it for and what temperature to steep it for. Okay, and so here is a little dial, and you can decide if it's a black tea, you'll steep it at 200 to 212, so boiling. If it is an oolong, you'll steep it at 195. If it is a green tea, you'll steep it at, I'd say 170 to 175. Really experiment. You don't want to burn your green tea. White tea, you want to steep at around 170 as well. And with matchas, with gorgeous matchas, especially ours, you'll want to steep it even at like 160. And then with herbals, it's just like black tea. You can steep it for 3 to 5 minutes in boiling water to extract the essential oils and the medicinal components of the herbs. So that's it. That is caffeine content, steeping, what temperature to use for each type of tea, and I hope this answers your most burning caffeine questions. And just remember that L-theanine is attached to the caffeine in tea, and it's a relaxant, and so they even sell supplements of it in health food stores for sleep. And so just know that when you combine the caffeine with the L-theanine, that's where you get that blissful state and all those yummy endorphins and all the good stuff that comes with tea. Whereas coffee will make you strong and powerful for a minute or two, or maybe an hour, but then the crash is a little harder. So I hope you will really take to heart how much caffeine you're taking in your body. I personally have a high caffeine threshold. I am like a hummingbird. I can drink, 200-300 milligrams of caffeine a day and be fine. But just start noticing what your body is telling you, because your body knows, your body has the wisdom. Okay, so here's to your health. I will see you at clubmagichour.com.